Guess what, everyone? Hello, everybody in the chat. Click, it
Hello.
worked. Should I do an intro? Should we like go away for a minute and come back?
Do what you want.
All right, everybody,
I've got a
welcome to
great
the
idea,
show.
Gary. I think you should do the intro.
We made it. StreamYard let us in. Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. I was in early. We got Russ is in the house. BX Gun is hopefully still here. Got Lonzo in here. Yes. All right, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's only been what? How long did 30 minutes? Yeah. Had a little 30-minute delay, but we are here. We have started. And I've got my man, Mr. Tom, with me. We've got Lord Greenwood from the Norway Greenwoods. This guy actually shows his face. The other guys from that Greenwood clan don't show their face. I don't get
Well,
it.
you know what they're so snotty in England, aren't they? They're so very snotty.
Got a face like a baby.
There you go. And you got Lonzo
Shaved.
from the
He's shaved.
Lonzo.
Delicious.
And Lonzo joins us as well. Lonzo, hello. All right, so let's get into it. It is before we get started, I guess we'll start. We kind of were talking about this in the background with sad news today. Kevin Campbell, for those Arsenal, Everton, West Brom, Traxian, all these, all these teams where Kevin Campbell has actually played. I think he's left a lasting impression on every team he's played on, every person he's touched and talked to. If you've seen him on the shows, you know what we are talking about. Nice guy, brings it to you from a player's perspective when he talks about Arsenal and anything. Just a sad day for a lot of fans that have seen him play, talk to him on YouTube. I think everybody, even Sam, said he's had a chance to even communicate with him live on a show.
Yeah.
So yeah, rest in peace. Here's to all the family members. Hopefully, they're able to handle this one. For me, I guess my first interaction, I think, with him is just watching him on the Highbury squad with Sophie and them when they first started a while back, and that's where you got a lot of him. So I don't know, Sam, you have anything else you want to say? I'll let you continue on. We'll go around the horn here.
No, I'll just continue. Just echo your sentiments. Kevin Campbell was just a real down to earth, real diamond guy. He was so nice, so humble. He, like you say, he gave his analysis from a player's perspective, but was so great. He would just join many different podcasts. He would be glad to go on many different podcasts with a lot of just normal small podcasts. It was great, and I had actually the pleasure of being on with him a couple of times on Ryan's podcast because he knew Ryan. That's the Mr. Arsenal podcast. It was a fantastic experience to interact with an Arsenal legend. Basically, you actually watched play, which I did, when I was young. So yeah, absolutely tragic news that he's passed, and of course our thoughts go out to his family and friends in the Arsenal community. So yeah, just real tragic how quickly that went.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have had this experience where one of their first games is actually watching Kevin Campbell, I think, play in a match. So, see Lonzo left us, but he's back. Lonzo, anything you want to say on Kevin Campbell?
Yeah, really sad. Like you and Gary and Sam were saying how you guys, talked about him and watched him on the YouTube channels, and he seemed really humble, really nice guy, really down to earth, really approachable. And it seemed like there's some players that play with him that are gonna miss him, like Ian Wright. So really sad. It's like anyone who plays for Arsenal or a footballer like Kevin Campbell passing away is really tough on us fans. So I wish his family well. I hope that they are okay. Obviously not, but just hopefully my condolences to his teammates, his friends, and family.
Cool. Mr. Tom, anything you'd like to say?
All accounts, he was a nice fella. I mean, obviously, I can't sit here and be all like, he was sat watching the full Nelson with me. Like, do you remember the time Kevin Campbell watched the Royal Rumble with me in 1992? It never happened, obviously. But I'm sure he would have if I asked him to, because it's Kev, isn't it? But in all seriousness, I feel bad for Ian Wright because obviously he's his mate, and Kevin Campbell is like the unsung hero of like the Arsenal 90s team, in the degree that, not to get too political, and I don't really know how to say it, but when I was in school, a lot of kids supported Arsenal, and a lot of those kids were black, and a lot of those black kids supported Arsenal because most of the players in the Premier League were white. But two players played for Arsenal up front and had a partnership, and it was very important, in my opinion, to the growth of the Arsenal fan base, because people were watching Arsenal, and people that wouldn't necessarily get the opportunity in football that other people would get, and they basically were like, but I can, and I'll put it another way, you can watch that and go like, oh, maybe I can play for Arsenal. I mean, you can't, because you're probably shit at football, but if you're good at football, Arsenal will play you. And I know times have changed and football's evolved and things like that, but I guess my point is he's an important part of the Ian Wright legend, because every great striker usually has a strike partner, and that's Kevin Campbell to Ian Wright.
Yeah, bang on. Yeah, bang on, mate.
Yeah, I was reading something or read some or heard somebody say that if he had been around at least maybe a little bit longer, he may have actually got to play under Wenger. He kind of left right before Wenger joined, and who knows what would have happened with that, because he would have still had we've seen what Wenger has done early in those early days when he first joined, but he missed an opportunity to manage with or to be managed by one of Arsenal's best as well. So yeah, but everywhere he's gone, everybody. Yeah.
Sorry, Gary, that's rude of me. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I do have one issue with Kevin Campbell, and some will say it's not the right time to bring this up, but I will. Everton are still in the Premier League because of Kevin Campbell. They'd have been gone. They would have been gone. They would have been a speck in my mind as an issue or problem. But Kevin Campbell was like, no, I'm going to go there and I'm going to be Kevin Campbell. And he scored loads of goals for him. Well, not loads because it's Everton. But he scored enough goals for them because they were like, you haven't got to score loads of goals when you're 18th in the Premier League. If you score any goals,
hey, he scored. I believe he scored like 9 goals in whatever 15 games or whatever it was, something ridiculous like that when he joined.
When you're in a relegation battle, that's Lionel Messi form.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, I heard somebody talking about that. He came in and produced like 9 goals or something like that to help them stay up.
Everton.
Yep.
Genuinely saved Everton.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And upset Mr. Thomas.
I'll never forgive him for it either. But is what it is. Is what it is. No. I've got. Who doesn't have a soft spot for Kevin Campbell? It's a lie. Like if anyone goes, I hate Kevin Campbell, it's like you're lying. You're delusional.
True. Very, very true. Yeah, no, nice fella, nice man, a nice player, and a nice friend to many. I mean, a lot of the YouTubers said when they were coming up, he was, like you said, one of the one guys they could call and say, "I'm starting up a new channel. Would you mind coming on and doing a show with me?" And he would say yes. As long as the time was right, he would say yes. And he was busy because he was off traveling pretty much weekly to go do shows around the world. Or around Europe anyways. So yep, sad loss.
He's a pioneer in that way, right? And I know maybe pioneer is probably an exaggerative term, but basically because obviously he was doing YouTube at a time where professional footballers tended to not interact in a uncontrolled environment with people that are not footballers.
Yeah.
Like Ryan, for example. Like most footballers wouldn't give Ryan the time of day, but Kevin Campbell did.
Yep.
Many times.
Yep. No, you're right about that. And it's, I guess that's the person, right? If you see the people and you're like, that's the person right there. Yeah. nothing's too small. Nothing's too little. It all helps.
When I
And
was younger, I actually thought that Campbell's soup was Kevin Campbell's brand of soup.
Could have been. Could have been.
It should have been. It should have been.
So yeah, and I know he leaves his son Tyrese. I believe he's still playing in the professionally. I believe. I think. Yeah, I think professionally he's still playing. So yeah, I was looking at you look at his what he's brought to Arsenal, right? They won the first division, FA Cup, League Cup, Charity Shield, European Cup, Winners' Cup. I believe he scored in one of the semifinals. I believe it was against PSG or his final. So yeah, he's delivered for Arsenal when he was there. That's the most trophies he's done for anybody that he's played for. So yeah, definitely holds a spot in the Arsenal in the Arsenal just to say that. So yeah,
It's not one of them. It's not one of them things where like just because a footballer has died, you are like you exaggerate their accomplishments to be nice. Like he really should be acknowledged by Arsenal.
oh for sure, for sure. Like you've got Rocky and how people came up, bring have something for Rocky in their hearts. I have no doubt Kevin Campbell is at that same similar level. So yeah, he played for Cardiff as well. Brownie joins us as well on the show. Yeah, yep, played for Cardiff. I don't have any much stats for him. I don't know if he didn't play much or, you know. Yeah. Oh, he was
He,
released. He only played. He was only there for about 6 months, but I don't think he played much.
he probably went on all their podcasts
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah. He scored in a quarterfinal match for Cardiff. Then he was released. Yeah, he only lasted 1 year, and that was it. That was the end of his career. So there you go. Never played for. Is that right? Never played for the English first team.
Nah.
Wow. Wow.
To be fair though, that English team at the time was quite like Ian Wright wasn't a regular for England. I mean, he was regularly selected, but they weren't. Ian Wright was only going to play when Alan Shearer wasn't.
True.
Like, that's not to disrespect anyone. That's just more the fact of Alan Shearer was getting picked even when he hadn't scored for a year for England.
Yeah. Well,
because of the potential of his
we
ability to
we kind of see that same thing now, and people go, why doesn't performance at this current moment mean something? And we're seeing it now, right? Harry Maguire is terrible for Manchester United. Still gets picked. I mean, he would have played. He would have been picked this year. He just happened to be injured at the wrong time for him. So yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. I see Brownie. Hey, big up Brownie, Ryan, Bargo. But I was just saying, Brownie's reminded us he even played for shitty Cardiff.
Yeah, the man helps out the little people all around the globe.
never
right?
let it be said that he didn't donate to charity because he donated himself to Wales.
Yeah, he gave himself to Cardiff. He went to Turkey, spread a bit of his love with Trabzonspor.
Yeah.
And the guy was fantastic, giving it around.
He wanted a bit of European experience, so he went to Wales.
Exactly. He went across the border and helped that little club over there.
As Ross brings it home, that was probably one of the. That's when you know it's over, I guess. Yeah.
Cardiff, when you know you ain't got what it takes anymore.
That's all just because it's Brownie.
That's
all because it's Brownie. Barga, welcome to the show. Yeah. It says he was I think he's been going in and out of hospitals, but he was making it. He still brought a smile. That's the one thing I'll say about we kid about Tony, but every once in a while you see a smile come out, and you're like, a lot of behind the scenes stuff that he's going through. It's kind of crazy, but it does give you a smile. And Kevin Campbell does it as well whenever you saw him. So.
Yeah, but I'd powerbomb Tony through a table without thinking twice.
Like,
yeah.
I hear that. Ryan joins us as well. It's been ill since the turn of the year. Oof, we're talking about like at least 6 months. So yeah, we haven't seen him in a while, and that's probably right around that same time. Yeah, yep. The Mr. Arsenal podcast, yes. BX is back, I guess. His first touch was special. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was first touch was very good.
So Brownie says here, to be honest, this is just my opinion. I think Kevin Campbell has more impact at Everton than he did at Arsenal. Everton was dead and buried in relegation before he went to Everton. Yeah.
No, I agree.
I've never forgave it for it either, Brownie.
No, I was just going to say I agree with that assessment because at Arsenal, he was more of a, he was a second fiddle, of course, to Ian Wright. He was a support striker for Ian Wright. He created a lot of room for him, set him up a lot. He was more there to support and be the second guy. And he did that job very well. So, of course, he wasn't going to be the top guy, the top impact striker. But, yeah, so obviously when he went from Arsenal and moved on, he was when he went to and sorry to offend people, but to smaller clubs like Everton and Cardiff, he's going to be much more of an impact and bigger player, being more important and leading in the front line. So yeah, Arsenal did a great job at supporting Ian Wright. I mean, those two played very well together.
Cool. Yeah, him and Smudge, as they call him, Alan Smith.
Yeah, Alan Smith was more. He was like before Ian Wright. He was Ian Wright sort of came in and took Alan Smith's place. Yeah.
I think I saw in the '94 Cup Winners' Cup run. I think there was a header against PSG. I think that he put in. I think for the only goal of the game. So yeah. Yep. Anybody? Go ahead.
I do hope that Kevin Campbell wasn't the one who said to Alan Smith, "Hey, Alan, you get into commentary, mate. You're really witty behind the scenes, so everyone will want to hear your takes on football." And he was like, "All right, I'll think about it, Kev."
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure.
Alonso, you familiar with this Jacques bloke from Switzerland? He's having a good day.
I may have seen him somewhere wearing some of the colors or some of the Arsenal, and they're number 10 for the Swedes. So,
true.
Yeah, Swiss. Sorry. I mean, he always shows up. Wearing the Swiss colors. So fair play to him, and he's come on very strong for them. And playing for a team that went undefeated was a pretty big feat for them. So well played, Grant Xhaka.
There you go.
Bargev says, Xhaka's well out of your price range.
Yeah, now yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's the thing. You can't afford if Arsenal sells a player and tries to buy him back, we can't afford it. That's
why would he want to leave a team that he's won a title for to go to Arsenal? Why would he want that?
That is the question.
He'd be better off going to Leeds. No, I'm joking. It's not true. Not true.
Dude, you know what? We were talking about like taking a step down, and then you bring that up, right? You understand what I mean? Like, they're levels.
And Switzerland score a goal.
Oh man, yeah, he definitely helped out a lot of YouTube channels. Yeah. He helped out. You can see him on a lot.
Hungary just had the most incredible brain fart of a defensive move of defensive.
Did they pass it into their own goal?
They headed the ball to the striker. There you go.
Oh no!
It could not happen to a nicer contingent of fans. Do you know what? The Hungary national team fans make the Legion-eyed ultras look like fucking boys' choir. Pardon my language.
I heard that. Yeah,
what's he doing, that defender? Why is he heading it there?
So when they show that clip, they show a clip over here a lot of Wayne Rooney. They're like 16-year-old Wayne Rooney comes on and he strikes the ball and scores past Arsenal
against us. Yeah, of course.
Kevin Campbell was standing off to the side there, like drawing the defenders or something. Is that what's going on?
That Wayne Rooney goal fucking killed me that day.
Yeah.
Is that Mbolo who scored?
Nah. What's his name? I don't know the name of these Swiss players.
See, it
Gary?
says Bolo's the one that scored, fouled, but oh no, Mbolo is who scored.
Yeah. I was going to say because it's not like you have a plethora of black players for Switzerland.
Bolo,
Yeah, Mbolo.
No, I remember Brill Bolo because he scored against Leeds for Monaco in a pre-season friendly, and I've marked his card ever since.
Yeah, you got him down there, haven't you?
Famous last words from Russ. Jacques will never lead a team to a title.
They're so famous, he wrote it twice.
Yeah, no, exactly. Man. You see Havertz emerging like an Alan Smith type striker. That's not what we need, is it? Don't we need the other guy?
I don't think he's really an Alan Smith type striker, in my opinion. He's very different to that. Alan Smith was more a classic, just a classic straight number 9, really.
Hear that. Yeah,
Havertz is a bit of a hybrid, isn't he? I mean, he's a bit of a. He plays 3 different roles in one.
Don't know what segment this was, but and Bargav's got his hopes on Portugal and Belgium. It's crazy to look at that Portugal team and go, how are they not good? And that's sometimes without Cristiano coming on the pitch.
I'll tell you the match I do want to see.
Oh boy, are you going to bring it up? Are you going to bring it up?
No. There's no. I'm not going to do Jesse Marsh Bielsa. Different tournament. But what I actually want to see in this tournament is Netherlands to play Portugal, because it will be a rematch from 2006. At the time, it was the world record for the number of yellow and red cards in the national match. I think it was 20. It was like 16 yellows, 4 reds.
Nice.
It stood until the 2022 World Cup, where again Netherlands, sensing a pattern here, played Argentina.
Yeah.
The last World Cup. I'm just saying.
They don't like the South American teams, basically.
I just think Holland don't like anyone.
Sounds like it. That sounds like it. And Russ has to also go there.
Yeah, but that Portugal team that won the Euros were terrible.
Yeah.
Actually, in the Euros. I know you can say that's a silly sentence. They didn't win a match in 90 minutes until the semi-final.
Yeah, that's true. It was boring. They were fucking boring, that team.
They had 3 draws, and then they won 2 matches on penalties, I believe.
Yeah.
And then they played Wales, and they didn't even have the temerity to keep that fairy tale going. I say fairy tale.
Yeah.
I mean, Hal Robson Carno, like, you know.
Well, I think we've seen the 2 teams are going to go through from that group, the Germany group. I think it's going to be Germany and Switzerland quite clearly going to go through.
There you go.
They're just, Hungary and Scotland are just nowhere near these 2 teams.
And Scotland, well, I would say Scotland's down a defender for the rest of the tournament, but I don't think people didn't think he was that good to begin with, so they could have.
That red card was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, obviously the tackle was filthy. Like, it was, as soon as you lay eyes on it, you're like, oh, why isn't he already walking off?
Yeah, it's like one leg. I get if it was just one foot. No, it was 2 feet. He got him with 2 feet.
Yeah.
You know, and just in case the first one didn't really do his job, he finished him off with the second one.
100%, Gary. But the thing that got me was how all the Scotland players, it's not true, like the leading Scotland players were like conversing with a ref, like, ref, it was never a red. And it's like, lads, I understand you may not have actually seen it.
True.
But in 3 minutes' time, when that half-time whistle goes and you walk into that locker room and you watch it on the TV, you'll feel very, very silly for questioning this decision.
Hmm.
You could have actually saved yourself a lot of time and got to half-time a lot quicker
True.
with less embarrassment.
True.
No, they did so much wrong yesterday, Scotland. They set up wrong, and but the thing with Scotland is they've got 3, 4. You would say 2, 3, pretty good players, 4 maybe decent players, and the rest are all mediocre at best. They're not very good at all. The rest of the players, that's such a gulf in quality when you compare them to the players Germany have. It's huge difference.
Yeah.
I feel lied to. I feel lied to by Scotland, right? Not just the team manager, like the whole country. I feel like they lied to me because they're like, we're going to go out there. We're going to go out there and attack Germany. We're not afraid of them. And then the ball kicked off, and they were celebrating winning goal kicks after 4 minutes. Embarrassing, genuinely embarrassing. But still, it was like your game plan was to draw 0-0.
Yeah, they sat deep to try and soak up the pressure, but they gave them all the time and space they needed. And they beat. Sorry, I was going to say, and they beat Norway in the qualifier to go through. So it really should have been Norway. But they would have been shit anyway. Norway. I mean, they've only got 3, 4 good players at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, for me, it didn't look good in real time. I don't know.
It looked terrible at the time as well.
Because you see 2 feet go in, like regardless of whether they connect, you're like, that's a dangerous tackle to begin with. And then if you watch the replay,
if he had done that to an Arsenal player, Russ would have been baying for a red.
And you know what? He would have got. And you know what would have happened? They would have said nothing. Nothing happened here. Let's move on.
He'd have got it because it's an obvious red, but he would have been sat there going, like in real time, it looked terrible. It looked terrible. I want him gone. I want him gone. Get him off the planet, let alone the football pitch.
True. Yeah. Did Scotland beat Spain?
Yeah, they won one match. They should have won 2 matches, or they should have not lost the second one where the referee gave a goal or disallowed a goal that shouldn't have been disallowed. It was something like that. It was dodgy. Like Scotland got robbed in Spain, to be fair.
The way they played yesterday, sounds like they were robbing their fans of some football, because that's not what we saw yesterday.
Anyway, sorry to jump in. I got to make a move now. I've got some stuff I need to do, but we lost. We would have been together for half an hour longer. StreamYard worked, but anyway, we lost that half an hour due to StreamYard circumstances out of our control.
Yep.
But anyway, it's great to see you guys as always, Gary, Tom, Alonso, and everyone in the chat, all the regulars. Great to see you guys. I've got to make a move now, but hopefully I'll be on again next week.
All right, thanks for coming on.
I'll see you guys soon. Sure. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your weekend.
All right, you too. All right.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. All right. And that was Sam. He's joined us from Norway. See the cars going by in the background there.
It was almost gone as long as he left as quickly as he came. It feels like.
True. Yes. Scotland needs to look at previous teams like Greece and Wales, whereas you play as a unit and hard to beat. Then you get, you could see like after they went down, they kind of like, that's when you kind of like, yes, you have to play a little bit more controlled football, but that's the way you were playing Germany in an opening match in Germany. How else were you supposed to play that? You're supposed to play that in a lot more controlled manner. It's kind of like that's how you don't want to get beat up in the first game. The first game with the only game on that day.
Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough, and far too early to make those sort of errors.
True, because you're only going to get worse as you get tired, right? You're going to play in the next 3 days. Now you're going to play with a new back four. You got to. Not too many teams want to have to keep replacing their back four. So.
The only saving grace for them is it doesn't get any harder yet. like they are still going to fancy their chances of getting 6 or 4 points or something like that. Because if you don't, then why have you even turned up?
Yeah. Well, as you said, if they got robbed against Spain in the qualifiers, and they have something about them, all right?
The one thing I'm looking for, Gary, is for some expert analysis from the man with his hand under his chin.
Yeah, just sitting there, just listening to us.
He's like, is this him? He's like, I'm intently, I wondered if like there was a naked woman where Alonso was looking, because I've never seen anyone stare so hard at something that wasn't a naked woman. He's thinking.
He can't take his eyes off of her.
Yeah, I was watching the preview to the Spain and Croatia game. They're having it here on Fox local channel.
The Spanish fans are in that. Say no more makes no. That explains everything. That explains everything. Some senoritas are in the crowd. Yeah.
I see. Luca Modric going on off the bus, and it's different. I think I was watching the Scotland Germany game yesterday, and it seems like the USA Fox broadcast has really taken a lot and tried to do its best by supplying its coverage to the Americans who don't know much about European football. So back then you had ESPN covering it, but it wasn't like it is now, to where you have
Sorry, it's the name you wrote. Sorry, Alonso. Sorry.
even Landon Donovan has been more included in the matches commentating. So I think they've invested more time into catering to the American crowds and Europeans that are here in America as well. Unfortunately, Russ.
Junior.
I've
never heard you called that before.
So
that is a ladies' sanitary product in England. Tampax.
Same thing over in the States. Same
fair
company,
enough,
probably.
Okay. No, fair enough. Didn't know if it was no. That's all. Because obviously, I'm not in a position to be needing to buy them. So why would I know where they sell them?
You know what? We don't know. We don't know that for sure.
No, I'm pretty confident in saying I'm not in a position to buy them.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. Come on.
There's not anything wrong with it, but I'll just I'll have nowhere to put it.
So on Thursday, I was on the Ultimate Fan Circle, and Gary had mentioned that the official NASCAR driver of both the trip and the fan circle, maybe someone else on the podcast, has announced his retirement after this year. So it was a sad day. Also to announce that. I'm gonna miss talking about him on the podcast and giving a banter as Russ and Sam always do. Sometimes Tom and Gary as well. He was a heck of a driver. Unfortunately, his crew chief is not a championship contending crew chief rather. Yeah, I'm proud of him. Hopefully that he'll have success outside of NASCAR. And but best wishes to Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, cool. You look at his honors. He has won. He has won before. He's got what they say the last. One of the. He's won many a race over the last 4 or 5 years. Hasn't been able to group them all in the right manner to win the trophy at the end, but he's done a good job winning races. Just can piece it together at the right time.
Is that Tampax Junior?
Yeah,
not his name, but yeah.
He's got runner-up, I think, 3 times. Also, Tom and Gary. So he's not a slouch. Yeah, very proud of him. And this season not over yet, so he'll hopefully get a couple more wins in him and finish his career strong.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, and as Brownie says, yeah, there was another death in the football family, essentially. Millwall keeper passed away.
26.
Yeah.
Active goalkeeper. Played last week, I believe, in a friendly or something.
Yeah. So, crazy day. And we were talking about it. We always say like the celebrities, they usually pass away in threes. So hopefully it can break the trend and it doesn't have happen. But got 2 today announced, anyways. So yeah. Condolences
Does
to the family there.
Scotland's chances of the European trophy count as a death?
Oh.
It would have, I think, if Rudiger hadn't scored for them, and maybe if they had given up maybe another 4 goals, maybe those would have been the nails. But since they weren't the nails are still not in, so there's a chance somebody might break out.
Fun fact: do you know that Rudiger is Scotland's joint highest goal scorer in the European Championship since like 1996?
Damn. So he's the only one that scored.
Well, joint. So I think that
Joint.
they had one person who would like score. I think Adam McCoy scored or something like that.
When I saw that, I thought he got. When I saw the goal, I said, "Oh man, he got deflected in." No, he didn't get deflected in. He was trying to clear it. He was trying to clear
But
it.
yeah, Russ is right. Russ says Scotland won't beat the Swiss. I do agree with him, but I don't think they will beat the Swiss. But if Scotland don't think they'll beat the Swiss, then again, why have you turned up? Like, why have you gone to a tournament where you think you're only going to beat Hungary?
Yeah, that 5th goal was probably a killer for sure, because 3 goals, you might be able to do something with that, and maybe a negative goal difference, a one goal difference might be the thing that saves you.
Mm-hmm.
But 4, and you're not gonna. Yeah. Are they gonna beat a team by more than 3 goals?
Oh, the only way Scotland could go through is by winning the next 2 games. They have to win the next 2 games because the goal difference is not going to stand up to much scrutiny by the sounds of it.
True. By all accounts, Alan Hansen could be the 3rd, unfortunately. Oof. Is that another player from an opposing team?
He used to play for Liverpool in the 70s and 80s, but he then went on to be a commentator. Not commentator. He went on to be he was like the analyst on Match of the Day in the 90s and like the early 2000s. Very good at it. Like most famous for like criticising defending constantly. Go look at the defending.
Okay, yeah, no, okay. It's funny because the first picture they show is him when he was younger, and I'm like, I don't know that guy. And then the pictures they show of him of late, I'm like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah,
because
he's very good at that. He was he was a great footballer.
Yeah.
But I personally, at my age, I knew of him more on Match of the Day, criticising defending weekly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I didn't even. I had to. I didn't know what you meant. There's Brown. I thought you were talking about Scotland goal scorers, but he's sitting in the hospital right now. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Hopefully he's able to pull through. We don't need a 3rd. So we got 50 minutes until the Spain-Croatia game. I'm gonna say I'm not sure if we'll be around, but I don't. We might not be around for that because we did get a late start. But when we have things that we all have to do, I know Mr. Tom has something coming up in a couple hours.
Yeah, going live. It was handy going live at 6 for that because we don't have StreamYard to work. The show starts at 7. So
well, you might want to start it at 5:30 just to be sure that you're on time.
Yeah, I might want to start it at 5 a.m. Give them a 13 hours to get their StreamYard working. But yeah, no, I don't know. Of course, Gary, you're always welcome. Obviously, like you say, you're busy, but still, I mean, you're mainly welcome because I can't even prevent you if you're not because you have the password. So
There you go.
but no, in all seriousness, so it's in Scotland, hence why it's earlier in the evening compared to midnight in the UK. So, yeah.
Now these
And
are all different, what, wrestling federations, right? Because
no, it's still WWE, but they are. It's really strange because they are like, oh, what's the word? They're basically more open now to working with their competitors, but not their main competitor. But like a lot of the smaller ones now, they're bringing in their wrestlers. So it's creating in like this thing where you don't really know who's going to show up. But okay, interesting.
it's
But
weird.
yeah,
So it's almost like you follow Premier League, but then you don't know if you're going to get one of the top players from South America, from France, from Italy, from Asia, from Australia, whatever, coming in to play or something like that.
Yeah.
On a yeah. They just show the goal for he's offsides. Said it was offsides.
Yeah,
He's well on.
German.
He's well onside. Yeah.
I liked how quickly the semi-automated VAR
Yeah.
basically like they're telling you during the replay.
Yeah.
That whether it's goal
What's
or
crazy is when you look at it, like I don't know what that official's looking at when he looks down that line, but he has to look through the white shirt to see the red one. You know what I mean? Like that's how, for me, it didn't warrant him calling him offsides because you had to look through a white shirt. Even if you're looking at an angle, you had to look through a white shirt to see it and to call the offsides. Yeah. So, oh my gosh!
that's
Oh,
not what they called it though, Russ.
they just showed the last goal for Switzerland. Hungary, that was terrible. Like basically, the goalkeeper's taking it long to get it out of there.
Didn't cover himself in glory.
No. The three defenders back there decided, guess what? We're not going to defend for the last 10 seconds of the game, and he just lofts it over the goalkeeper for that third goal, which that's that gives him a 4-goal difference on on Hungary. Not even on not even on Scotland, on Hungary. Is it no? Did I read that wrong? 4-goal.
5-1, 3. So they're Scotland's 2 goals worse off.
Scotland's, so they're like 6. Is that right? No.
No.
Well, how am I doing this? I'm doing this wrong, ain't I?
You're combining the two teams that won their goal difference. Something like that. But,
the goal difference is
Russ, their fans on the internet are calling it, to take the piss out of, the forbidden door concept, which is a term that the AEW wrestling use for when they bring in wrestlers from Japan. It's like, the forbidden door has been unlocked. It's like this contract, like it's an invisible thing of contracting employees. Because if you work for one company, you shouldn't be able to work for the other. But the people on the internet are going, WWE are opening the prohibited portal, and I'm like, yeah, that's much worse. That's a much worse name for it, which is perfect because that's what they do. They cheapen other people's good ideas. And then they get Dwayne Johnson to turn up 8 hours late. If you've heard about his behaviour on movie sets, Ryan Reynolds had to tell him off about once, apparently. I don't know if that's true. I weren't there. But apparently he does pee in a bottle, though. Which, again, it's not relevant to anything, but it's just funny or amuses me. Yeah. So, what we got here?
No, I just saw it. I don't know if this is true or not. Ronaldinho, is that how you say his name? He posted some message out there about basically the Brazil team being a terrible squad, and that he's the last words are, "I therefore declare my resignation. I will not watch any CONMEBOL Copa America game nor celebrate any victory." I don't know if that's true. If that's the real account or not.
I'll say it's the Brazilian League Under then.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. But he's not watching any of their games. At least if this is the real account, it's hard to. It looks like it's the real account. It's got the blue check in it, checking all that. So I don't know. Ben Jacobs posted it, so supposedly that's a legit source.
Yeah. So I've heard.
So yeah.
I
But
suppose-
Brazil, you know what? Brazil, you know what? Here's the thing. One way I think he does have a point is the way that Brazil had played in their first, first little run-up game, and then when they played U.S. and the way U.S. had played against Colombia, I put those two together and I kind of said this is going to be a terrible game for the U.S.
Well, 2023, Gary, was Brazil's worst year on record, like of form. Like they lost more games in 2023 than they've ever lost. It sounds like that. And they obviously haven't picked up from that run of form. They're still within the bad run, basically.
Yeah. Well, you look at their talented squad, and you're like, you think they should do a lot better than they did. Should have done a lot better. Yeah, he thought he was going to make himself available. They could probably deal with somebody like him, I guess he didn't like the fact that they didn't have any leaders on their squad, and when you talk, which Brazilian players do you think of and go, those are the leaders?
Gary, I'm going to declare myself a Uruguay fan for the Copa America in a move that will surprise no one if they think about it.
It's probably because you like this shirt, right? That's probably it.
It's a different reason than I thought he was going to say, but yeah, okay. But yeah, I've always hated Uruguay. I've always thought they were a dirty football team.
Not anymore, huh? Not anymore.
Bielsa will clean their act up. He won't tolerate that behaviour. Put it this way: if he was managing Uruguay in 2010 World Cup, when Luis Suarez handballed the ball on the line to prevent Ghana from scoring, if he was the manager, I'm absolutely certain he would have made Luis Suarez score an own goal. And I know that sounds hyperbolic, but he's made a team let another team score before, so it's not exactly that wild a suggestion.
I hear you.
Wait, was it Leeds versus Aston Villa, right?
Yeah. That was the craziest 5 minutes ever in the Championship.
Sometimes
all the coaches were fighting, like so much arguing and stuff, and Bielsa just sat there, just contemplating. And then he just looked up. He's like, "Let them score." Like, obviously, I don't speak his Argentine. Not Argentine, is it Spanish? But like, pointing and stuff. He was like, "I want that FIFA Fair Play award." He got it, by the way. But yeah.
So you like the Colombia shirt, huh? It's iconic. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, Lonzo, you doing all right, dude?
I gotta go. I'm falling asleep, man.
All right, sir. Sounds like you had a long day, anyways. All right. You probably get back. You probably may get a second win for the wrestling, maybe.
Yeah. I'll be on time, but so I get me to bed.
No problem, sir.
Okay. I'll see you then.
We'll see you later. Everybody, check him out on our full Nelson podcast later today. Cool. All right, Lonzo leaves us. He look like it's not like he's just woken up.
I suspect he hasn't been to sleep.
True. Well, hopefully he'll get a power nap. So they're showing Croatia warming up here.
Right, so are you watching it through the iPlayer?
No, this is no Fox Sports.
Oh, Fox. Okay.
Fox's Sports is showing it. So Cucurella, Carvajal on the back line, Nacho and Lemon, Nomond. Simon is a goalkeeper. Pedri, Rodri, and Ruiz in that midfield. Oof. The front line of got Yamal, Morata, and Nico Williams. Well,
That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, Nico Williams, Arsenal contact. Might be Arsenal might try to get him. It's weird because he's a left wing, right?
Do you
Arsenal's
want me
got
to
more than
send?
enough
Do
of those. So like what are they doing?
you want me to send Russ the link?
Oh, is he saying he wants to come on? Yeah, yeah.
Just give me a second, Gary. I'll do that for you.
I didn't see his request. It hasn't popped up on this thing here. So yeah, definitely join.
I'll do that. Just give me a second. And Russ, check your messages in. Right, so I've sent you the wrestling one at 2:41. So the one after is the trip one.
Cool.
All right, that should be there now.
Nice.
Who is that guy? I did say.
Oh, when he said I'm making myself available for the trip, I didn't know. You know what? I didn't put two and two together. I thought he was making a selection for I don't know. I don't know what I was
He
thinking.
was actually paying tribute to Alonso by doing what Alonso would do.
Yes.
Actually, he wouldn't be as witty as that, in fairness to him. But we'll see if he pops up. Mr. Morgan.
You think Modric will do enough to get Croatia past Spain today?
I've seen stranger things. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw personally.
I could see that. I think
Because
it's the problem is
Spain are weak.
Spain should be better. If you
Spain
said you're
always start out weak and then they get better.
oh. Yeah.
But Spain's first game in the tournament is usually really ropey. I know someone's going to turn around and go, they beat Costa Rica 6-0 or whatever, but that outlier aside, they tend to not win the first game of a tournament.
Yeah, but and also
even when they won it, they didn't.
And also they're playing a Modric team, a Modric-led team, so he's going to bring it in. Joining us on the show, Russ.
I clicked the link for the full Nelson instead by accident, and I was there for about 10 seconds. Where is everyone?
We're here. We are here. Thanks for joining us. So what's your take on Kevin Campbell? We've been talking about him when we started the day.
Very sad, yes. And obviously we heard that he hadn't been well for a few weeks. Obviously we didn't know his state, but yeah, it's a shame. I've seen him on a lot of YouTubers' content over the years. He seems to be a very personable person who would give time out to just small YouTube channels and just sort of go on there and help them grow. And yeah, obviously some of his views on football I didn't agree with most of the time. Some of them were quite good, but yeah, he was not like a shock jock or anything. But yeah, some of his takes were a bit. But no, it's very sad. As I said, I was at the first game I ever went to at Highbury. He was playing with Ian Wright up front, and yeah, it's always been a character. And yes, it's very sad.
Yeah, what's crazy is you talk about the first game you went to watch and who was sitting on the front line. Imagine like a front line like that now, and a child getting to see that as their first game. The chances of that are very, very slim.
Yeah, 4-4-2 it was back then under George Graham. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I went with my best friend actually, because my dad he supports Spurs, but he would never sort of go to games or anything. So my best friend, him and his dad said, "Oh, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And my dad was like, "Oh, do you really want to go watch Arsenal?" I was like, "Well, yeah, Dad, you don't take me to see Spurs or anything like that." So yeah, sort of went to Arsenal, and that's how I sort of started following Arsenal. But yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's very, very sad. Obviously, thoughts to his friends and family.
Also, on top of that, I was thinking just in general, when if you have two top strikers like that playing, not necessarily, or attackers. Let's just go with attackers playing up top for a team like Arsenal in this day and age, trying to get a ticket to see it would be just as tough as well. I mean, now it's just tough to get a ticket right now. We don't even have that, what someone could say like world class and very, very well established attackers in the game. You know,
Yeah, it's a shame
for
because regardless of having two top strikers like that, neither of them would ever get picked for England. It's just back in those days. I think it was who was it? 1993. It would have been
so Alan Shearer.
Graham Taylor would have been the England manager. I can't remember who was England strikers back then, but it wouldn't have been Shearer.
Shearer and Les Ferdinand, maybe.
I think it was too early for Shearer. I think 92, 93, possibly.
Oh no, Shearer was playing for England because I think Shearer was brought in when Lineker stopped being picked in 92.
Yeah, well, Lineker stopped getting picked. Was it 90? Because that was Graham Taylor as well, wasn't it? Wasn't that qualification for the World Cup or?
Yeah, because Ian Wright.
Well, no, it was Euros, wasn't it? It was Euros, Euro 92.
Yeah, but Ian Wright would have been playing against San Marino, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, obviously the pool of English players at national level was obviously a lot larger in '93 than it is in 2024. Like now, you're pretty much in the England team if you're English and playing the Premier League, generally speaking. Outside of one or two duplicate spots, like Ivan Toney or whatever. But generally, because there's so few English players now, I still think eventually we're not that far away from them having to dip into the Championship to fill the squad.
Well, I think part of that is because they are almost to some degree alienating some of the younger players that should be actually in the squad, building up their CV so they can get a start and be like Tamori, for example. I don't know how bad he is, but the fact that like we've brought his name up, we've been bringing his name up for like the last 2 years, and have yet to feel like he's going to be part of the squad going forward. Right? He's not even in it this time, and young center back or whatever, and I don't know how good or bad he is, but you need to establish that that growth in your players, right? You need to bring them in young. I mean, I always go back to and I look at that Spanish women's team. How many of their players did not play in that World Cup, right? And they won it with their youngsters, right? Because they're already part of the setup there. Not much of a change when they brought him in. Like, does England have that? Like we were talking about strikers. What young striker does England have, as opposed to an established striker in a league right now?
Well, that was like when Özil was playing for the German under-21 team when I think they won that World Cup as well. But that whole group developed all at the same time, and then they won the World Cup, the senior squad. So it's just a transition. But England, as you say, England don't seem to do that. I mean, I'm happy that some of the younger English players are moving abroad to get an opportunity.
I'll tell you this, and it's what Russ has just alluded to. Basically, if you're the new young hot player on the scene, you literally jump all the age groups. You won't play for the under-21s. You'll be a bit part player for the full squad, which I think does the player a disservice.
Yeah, it doesn't do. Yeah, you're right.
Because then you become associated with the failure of the more experienced players.
Yeah.
And you won't get to play with the players who will be coming up eventually.
Yeah. Brownie. For a man who likes women, you don't like women. I don't get it. I mean, supposedly you like women, but you don't like women. I don't get it. But I bring it up because it's relevant to the conversation, and they won a World Cup. So there you go.
They don't like women in Wales, Gary.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting that confused.
They like farm animals, allegedly.
All right. See, this is where you go. This is where you go really bad.
Brownie. Stop it.
You like what you like. I mean, I'm kind of with Brownie on this one. I'm not the biggest viewer of women's football. It just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. I watch all sports. I do. I mean, the women's game is, is it? They're different. It's different, but I watch
It's
it. I watch
improving,
them.
yep.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
improving. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The level in even in the past 5 years. It's amazing how much of a growth there is in that sport, and how much the bar has been raised. But for me, it's not what I want to watch, and that's just me. That's just me.
My issues with it are more on an institutional level, like the actual game itself. Like personally, I see it as two different sports.
Yeah.
Like when people compare them, and it's like, oh, why did this I don't know, like name a women's player, like why she wouldn't last 10 minutes playing with the men. It's like, well, but she ain't ever going to play with the men competitively. So why is it
Well,
even a
see,
point of
that's
discussion?
where the whole that's where the problem starts there, or that's where the separation starts. Like, because you're trying to compare
Didn't you
apples
watch
and
Soccer
oranges.
Aid, Tom? They had men and women playing together.
Yeah.
No, I don't watch Soccer Aid because it weren't unless that team were playing Leeds United. No, I never watched it. But
Yeah.
but no, seriously, I'm just like, I suppose when I say institutional, it's when they're like, there's Old Trafford was sold out with fans to watch the England women's team, right? And
Yeah.
then they'll basically say, "Oh, why aren't they getting paid more?" And it's like,
Because the
well,
tickets are like £5 a go.
when you can get 70,000 people turn up paying £50 a pop, then yeah, give them a bigger share of that. But basically, you've let okay, 70,000 people turned up to watch the women's team, but then how many people watched the Norway versus Northern Ireland game, which was the other game in that particular group? You probably got, what, 3,000 people turn up or whatever. And it's like, so should they get paid the same as the England women's team were getting paid? Because they ain't drawing like fans. I mean, actually, it's quite impressive that they drew
Well, if you put
3,000 people to watch
if you put
Northern
the
Ireland
prices
women's
the
play.
same as the men's, they wouldn't get that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't get that audience. They
Well,
simply
we-
wouldn't. They
but
wouldn't fill that stadium.
Yeah. The thing is, that's because it's just you're starting. We're at a lot of times you're looking at things being equal and they're not equal. When when we're talking about, you're talking about women in England not even being allowed to play the sport. Yeah, right. And in people's lifetimes, right? To like now where they are, they can actually play, and it's part of football, right? Teams have women's teams and all of that. So for me, it's hard. You're not why when we should be comparing it sometimes like that, because you're not gonna. It's not for me. It's not a good comparison, a good way to use it. But things that have happened in each sport, you can see. Like you probably like right now, a lot of the women are getting ACL injuries. I have no doubt in any other sport you would have seen a rash of similar injuries happening. Either one because of the way that the training had changed, the way that the fields were being grown and cut, and all those types of things. Right? Something is triggering it, because you see it all the time in every sport. It happens. Right? So
It's
for the
being
women,
treated as more elite, and people and their bodies are not used to it.
yeah. Well, and like I said, they're giving them more games, like anything else. Same thing in the men's game, right? More games creates what? The World Cup happens. How many injuries do we see in that particular season, before and after, right?
Yeah,
It's
7
not.
injuries.
It's not good. It's not good for the players. They're playing more games now. They want to add even more games. We get. It's good for the money, but it's not good for the players. And at some point, the quality of the play dips, because now you're like, well, this player's out again.
Yep.
And he's out again. Guess what? He's out again. That's when the teams need to, especially like the league teams, the ones that are paying the most money on these players, needs to go. You guys need to stop. These players can't play that much. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? The season's over and they're preparing for Euros. Wait, some of them are flying out to do a preseason. Like the leagues have to look at themselves as well. Why do you have a preseason game a week after the season's ended? That makes no sense. These players need to sit out for a month and come back and then figure out, get
That
themselves
showed me
ready.
the greed. That was pure greed.
Yeah.
It was the fact what it showed was the clubs actually don't care about the fact they're playing too many games. What they actually care about is we're not playing enough of the games that give us the most money. Like, you actually don't care if your players are unfit because of the amount of games. Because if you played 26 Champions League matches at 1.3 million or whatever, you'd be like, fuck my players' health. We're gonna get that bag, as people will say, out on the street or whatever. But it's like Newcastle sent their youth team there. If I was Australia, I'd be furious. I'd be like, why are you sending your youth team here?
Yeah. That's like, well, it's like, why did you even plan for this event to happen at all? Because you're like, Newcastle's coming to town, great. Like, even now, Arsenal's coming to the U.S. Are we expecting to see much of an Arsenal, contingent to show up? No, because they're finishing.
You'll send enough players.
Yeah.
You'll have a big name player that happen to not play in the Euros.
Yeah, Odegaard will go because he's done nothing.
Exactly,
he's not playing.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas Newcastle knowingly sent no one. And put it this way, if you go on a tour of the country, and I believe it was the Australian A-League All-Stars played at this Newcastle team, you'd think, it'd be a really big scalp, like if we're even competitive with Newcastle. They beat Newcastle 8-0. 8-0.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was the best players in Australia, the Australian League, played Newcastle's youth team.
Yeah.
And won 8-0. What was to be gained from that?
Yeah. As you said,
the
money for those tickets, but I'd be surprised how many people actually watched it. Like, who's watching that, right? Who's watching?
I want over here because it's a stupid time.
Yeah, I imagine it was a sold-out house in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Because again, they've not been told it'll be a Newcastle youth team. They've just been told the Premier League club Newcastle and their stars are coming over here. Oh, well, you've never heard of their top striker in their under-21 team. He's a star. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you his mother's name or whatever. But
they're not wrestlers. They're superstars.
Yeah. Well, I never expected to have Vince in it, but yeah. That was it. Not enough games that pay the right money, basically.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Real Madrid said that they get for a game for them is worth like 1.8 million euros. So why should they take part in some tournament when they're not going to get any money, basically?
The irony is they will get a lot of money for that because FIFA are going to have a big prize pot to make sure that teams actually take the invitation.
Yeah.
And all the European teams, I suspect, do well in it. Yeah. Because it's going to. I predict when this tournament happens next year, and you start getting more information about how much money you're going to get for being in it. I think it'll turn out to be a tournament that a lot of the elite teams will want to be in. Because again, the alternative is you can go to America and do a series of friendlies, or you can take part in this World Cup, Club Cup, which is almost certainly every other year going to be held in Saudi Arabia, I suspect. Probably a lot of them. My actual main worry about Saudi Arabia is eventually they're going to control every sport.
Well, it's all driven by what? It's all driven by the money. So, I mean, players everybody's like, oh, nobody's going to go there unless they're like all washed up and whatever. And then when this, younger players decided, hey, well, I'm probably never going to get to go play for Barcelona or Real Madrid or Manchester City or any, Liverpool or whatever teams that have won recently. So, I got a window of time to make a lot of money.
this place over here. No matter where you are on the scale of you know European or world football, you go to Arabia, you
Saudi
pay.
America.
I don't know where I was getting that.
Saudi America.
You get
It's probably what it'll
your
be
no,
eventually.
but think about it. You get your salary boost is better, right? No matter where you are. Like if you're just starting out, right, and you're getting like 10K a week, right? You go to Saudi, you're boosting that up to 40 easily without even doing anything, and probably even more. But you know, you don't have in 1 year you're like, okay, if I'm making 3-4 times what I was making before, it's not that bad. And the longer I stay, establish myself, I even make more money. Why not? So, but yeah, no,
No,
it's
you're not wrong.
yeah, yeah. Who wouldn't take a 300% pay rise, right?
Mhm.
For doing
Sometimes,
the exact same thing, yeah.
so
I think a lot of these players, though, the English players like Henderson, discovered it's not necessarily the exact same thing. Because a lot of things you take for granted, the only player out there that actually gets away with murder is Ronaldo.
Neymar as well, pretty much.
It's something that Ronaldo does where it's like openly illegal there. I think it's to do with his wife. But yeah, basically, like it's something like not even Neymar gets away with. I was reading an article on it, but obviously I don't remember it enough to know specifically.
we talk about levels, and there's only really one player above Ronaldo, right, in this day and age right now.
Yeah, Patrick Bamford.
Yeah, well, there you go. See, Patrick.
Archie
Yeah,
Gray.
Archie Gray. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy because
Wonder when,
do you think like we heard all the things that Neymar is getting, and I assume Ronaldo's getting those tenfold.
oh yeah, of course. But I meant more like the culture,
Yeah, there's something that Ronaldo can do that
yeah,
not a lot
like
of
it's
people
something
in
like he has
Saudi Arabia can do. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I think I read
his
something.
wife can go out in public. I think basically, and I know that's such a strange sentence because obviously saying like your wife can go out in public in England and America, it's like, oh yeah, why not? Like, of course they can.
Really?
In
Why?
Saudi Arabia, it's a big deal. It's a big like
That's
you
the
can't
thing.
have
Yeah,
without him.
it's something like that, Tom. Because where Steven Gerrard slightly differs, because even though he's
He has
managing
to
in
live in
Saudi,
Bahrain, right?
yeah, his wife and the kids live in Bahrain, but it's only like a couple of hour drive away from where in Saudi
Yeah,
his club is. So, but yeah, his wife lives in Bahrain, where obviously they're a little bit more open about what you can
yeah,
and can't do.
less strict. Yeah, because that's the sort of thing is why Henderson actually wanted to obviously leave. He had buyer's remorse very quickly.
Yeah, you know what they as you say all the time, and you don't get things for free, and sometimes you have to
mm,
take a little bit of pain. Nobody gives you not giving you all of this, and it's going to be easy sometimes, right? And as you said, the lifestyle is totally different, so you're gonna
I think
get all the
Steven Gerrard's quite happy because obviously his kids go to the best school in Bahrain, and I'm sure the best school in Bahrain is going to be pretty good, isn't it? Regardless. So, but yeah, it obviously works for him. So obviously,
it'll be practically English that school.
yeah,
um,
I
obviously. So
expect.
I mean, I'm sure that other players probably do the same thing.
true,
Mm.
true. Yeah, no, I think Ronaldo. If you did anything to Ronaldo and you bring him in, you basically would you're hurting your money. All right, we're talking about players going there for their money. Them bringing in Ronaldo is all about their money, right?
I'm sure if Ronaldo does something illegal, he's so far up the Saudis' arses that he'll just get away with doing whatever he wants, regardless.
I know the Saudis love Ronaldo, but I can name one person that they love. They love definitely more than Ronaldo because they literally fly the Undertaker in to like
I
go to their kids' birthday parties and stuff like that.
thought they
Like,
like Vince.
oh, they love Vince as well. Of course they do because of his extracurricular activities, I suppose. But no, it's true because there's the Saudi Community Shield or whatever they like Super Cup, where they actually had the Undertaker bring out the trophy, and
Yeah.
Ronaldo's
And Ronaldo's like,
on
yes,
camera. He's
this
on
is
camera
amazing.
like he's like, what the fuck is this?
This is amazing.
Yeah, no,
It's genuinely
and somehow Brownie knows this information for those who, are in Bahrain. So
of course, Brownie knows it. Brownie probably wrote the Bible of lap dancing.
well,
He's
you know
like
what?
the tour guide of
I was just
lap
about to say
dancing
that.
clubs in Bahrain.
You see like the Lonely Planet, and it's like Brownie's
Yeah.
Lonely Planet to certain
Rough
extracurricular
Guide.
activities. Yeah, the Rough Guide.
Brownie has made a
Where can you go for under $5 a day and enjoy?
like the film
what
Green
it- what-
Book. I don't know if you have seen it. It's a very good film about obviously the South in the 60s, and Maharashtra Ali is getting driven. He's getting chauffeured around by Michael Madsen. Oh no, Viggo Mortensen. Sorry, and they do look very similar. But
What's it called?
it's called Green Book.
Oh,
But
I think I've seen an
because of-
advert for it. I've never seen
That
it.
it's very good, but obviously it was the Green Book itself was basically an establishment of basically black friendly businesses, safe places to go in the South, but I think Brownie would have written the equivalent of let's just say lap dancing establishments are worldwide that are open to extras.
Don't type in lap dance place with extras, Gary. Just don't do that. Don't Google
You know
that.
what? Anything that Brownie talks about, I err on the side of no thanks.
Yeah, we keep Gary safe from that kind of.
No thanks. I
kind of
think
thing.
it's actually said what's the source of this information. As soon as I type B and then R, it goes and it just stops. It just says no need. and
What's the next match, by the way?
So we got Spain and Croatia are
Spain.
warming up right now.
And when does that start? Soon.
Starts in about
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, UK time 5
12
o'clock.
minutes from now. Yeah. Yep. 12 minutes from now. Croatia and Spain will be playing. I think both games are they on the same time. I think the games are on. No.
8, isn't it?
Yeah. 1 at 8.
Nah,
Italy
there's
and
one later on.
Albania. Yeah. Italy and Albania play later on.
No, the only time they'll have the games playing at the same time will be the third group stage match to prevent the match fixing.
Yeah.
Gary, I swear, watch West Germany versus Algeria. Sorry, I'm telling this wrong. West Germany versus Austria, 1982 World Cup. Is the sole reason that all the group stage matches, the final round, get played at the same time. Basically, if it transpired that if either of the teams won the match, Algeria would have gone through because there were three teams in a group at the time, and and basically it was 1-1 very quickly in the game, and then they basically all down tools and just passed
training
the ball
game,
around. Yeah, but to the extent that it was so obviously staged that FIFA had to act and change the rules of the World Cup forever.
Yeah.
It's atrocious. It
Well, you know what? That's where
I like to blame the Germans for everything.
Yeah. Well, that's where the sport, to some degree, and that's where sports in general has got to, where you're not necessarily just out there trying to win the game anymore. Right?
Should have put a bet on a draw, really.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary, if you saw what football was like before, I think it was like 92 or something like that, when not the Premier League existence. I mean, when they brought in the rule that you couldn't back pass to the keeper. Football is borderline unwatchable at times because the defence just you can head the ball back to the goalkeeper. Well, you could just kick it back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So as soon as a team went in front, the winning team that were in front would just spend the rest of the game just passing it back and forth from the goalkeeper, and then he rolls it back out and then passes it back to him. I think there's a game in the 1990s.
Well, it's like you're cheating, but you're not, because you're cheating the game, but you're not really.
You're
using it to your advantage.
Yeah. So yeah, no, yeah,
I think the
Brownie.
1990 World Cup, there's a game called, I think Ireland played Egypt, and it was a 0-0 draw, but the Ireland goalkeeper received the player that received the most passes in the game was the Ireland goalkeeper. To the point again where FIFA had to go, yeah, something not right here. Basically, the crime is that they made it boring. Ireland made the match boring, made their tournament boring, and FIFA basically was like, "Oh, you think you're gonna get one up on us, are you?"
It makes you wonder though, did FIFA ever watch any games of football prior to that?
Yes, because I imagine not many. But I dread to think how many times he actually had the ball passed back to him for FIFA to go, "Well, that's an inordinate amount.
True.
That's a bit extra."
I mean, it's probably also like how much time does the goalkeeper sit on the ball when it's time for him to throw it back in, and eventually it's like if nothing happens, he'll just stand there for a minute if you let him. All right. So basically, the game should be dead in the last 5-10 minutes because every time the goalkeeper touches it, it's a minute off the clock. So, yeah,
I think the best tournament format that they ever did was when they made the World Cup 32 teams, and when the European Championships was 16 teams, because you had to try and win the games. Because whenever you're in the format of 24 teams and you can basically not lose and go through, I think that makes for terrible tournament football. Portugal won the tournament without winning a game for the first 5 games in the tournament. It's disgraceful.
True. Very, very true. Stefan has joined us. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Brownie with a mullet.
Oh, it was Michael Oliver, ref for this match. Great.
Stefan. Do you are you allowed to talk to Stefan anymore, Mr. Tom?
We love Stefan.
Yeah.
Stefan.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I want to read one of his books.
Said it's for the ladies. He
I'm
said
not
it's
sure
for the
you'd want
ladies,
to.
right?
Yeah, I
Is
don't
this
think they're
so?
written
Is this
for
the
us.
biggest game? Is this the biggest game of the tournament so far?
So far, yes. Yes.
Well,
So far,
it
there's only
depends
been
on
2.
what
There's only been 2 so far, so yes.
quality is, yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be a bit tasty, isn't it?
Yeah, two top teams playing. Was it? I think I saw the ratings, the rankings. They're 8 and 9 in the rankings, in FIFA rankings. So this should be the best one.
I actually think that you're doing a disservice to Turkey versus Georgia.
That hasn't happened yet.
No, but when it does happen, that'll be the.
That's a tomorrow question. Today question is what Russ asked. So you moving out? What? Well, you were doing the exact opposite of a Tony. I'm asking you about today. You're telling me about tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but the real
Tony
answer
will
to
tell you
Russ's
about
question was
1985.
there's only been 2 games.
I'd say that his question didn't come with limited answers because there's only 3.
Yeah,
right?
There's not really. I mean, Stevie Wonder could have watched all the football and been like, "Yeah, this Croatia-Spain match seems a bit more tasty than Switzerland-Hungary."
Yeah, the live stream. You know what happened? StreamYard was having problems starting up, so it took us about 30 minutes of waiting.
So
and then
Stefan gave up and did something else.
He's asking about Brownie's live stream. He's not talking about our live stream.
So he wrote another paragraph of his new book.
You know what? It's all about me, Mr. Tom. So I don't care what you said just there. Sorry, Brownie. I saw somebody say Brownie had to pull one of his videos or something. I don't know if that's the one they're talking about. So I don't know.
That absolutely is not surprising.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I heard that wrong. But Brownie, whatever you're doing, be good. Working outside, replacing shutters, but listening along to the good show. Yeah. Don't smash up your fingers or anything, buddy.
While you're listening up your windows.
Yeah. Yeah. That too. That guy is that a tattoo on his neck? That was weird.
It's like not as weird as Cody Rhodes.
This guy had it had like a circle, and I thought initially it was like a mold, but I think it's like I don't know what it was, but Weird.
Does he have a famous father?
Oh, we're gonna get into this now. Yeah. Why? Stop playing dumb. Stop playing like you know
I
nothing.
heard.
Who,
I heard his
Modric?
dad was mildly famous. Was his dad Luka Modric?
Just listening to Stevie Wonder. So there you go. See, and Ronnie's bringing up
I
some old
just
facts here.
called to say.
Yeah. So there you go. So
Ooh.
Wales is better than Croatia. Yeah.
In World Cup qualifiers, presumably, yeah.
And
Not
where's
World
is
Cup,
Wales?
Euro qualifiers.
And Wales is playing. They playing in the tournament too.
I don't know. Obviously,
So-
didn't take that momentum into their other games, did they?
So you got 4 points to get one of the top teams in the world. I can use
Daniel
it.
James couldn't hold his nerve in a penalty shootout.
Yes. The hotel internet went down midstream. Oh, Brownie, what were you doing in the hotel? What? I don't know if I want to even know about this show.
The rough guide to hotels around Cardiff.
I know Brownie was in a hotel. The internet went down, and most watched show up until that point.
Adrenaline in my soul.
I'm not putting that up,
something,
Stefan.
Cody
I'm
Rhodes.
not putting that up, Stefan. You know what you're doing there. I'm not. No, not gonna do it. They're doing the national anthems right now, so this thing should be starting in a little bit.
I just need to pop to the little boy's room.
No.
No, but seriously, I really should go because of.
No. I was gonna say we're gonna probably go too because I need to do some stuff. I know there's the full Nelson podcast will have what is it called? Clash of the
Castle.
Clash
Got it
of
right
the
here.
Castle.
Got it right here.
Clash of the Castles.
There you go. And there's that guy whose dad I think wrestled once way back.
In a
Yeah.
polka dot suit.
There you go.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Yeah,
Mr.
baby.
Tom will be on. And
Dusty Rhodes, baby.
we'll let everybody have their say and we're gonna get out of here. So first up, Russ, what say you to the people before we go?
Thank you very much for watching us on the trip, even though I was only here for about half an hour, but it's very enjoyable. Hope you're going to enjoy all of the football that's coming up over the next week. Come and join me and Tom in a bit for the Full Nelson podcast. And that's it, really. Thank you for having me, Gary.
Cool. Mr. Tom, say bye.
Yeah.
Good job. Bye. And anyways,
Bye.
In all seriousness, it was a pleasure. It was a genuine pleasure to be here. Eventually, at the behest of StreamYard. So yeah, I feel like I should apologise for it not working, but it's literally not our fault. So, don't want to be that person that apologises on behalf of something that doesn't. We didn't make it not work anyway. So yeah, join us in an hour for some classic wrestling action, although I think it actually starts in 2 hours. But again, with StreamYard being what it is, I'm giving us the window to get it working. Yeah, so it'll be fun and games. Maybe Alonso will be awake by then.
True.
Obviously, wish him well, obviously, because of his health issue last night. But yeah, so thank you everyone for your time. I'll pass you back over to Gary.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again, and Brownie has to all the things he doesn't like. He'll let you know. He doesn't hold back. No filters. Yes. So there you go. Brownie's take on Spanish anthems. He don't like them.
Ryan's gone live.
So there you go. Check out Ryan. He'll have he probably will. He'll have a lot of the watch-alongs. There'll be a lot of watch-alongs. But then there'll be wrestling later on. So thank you for joining us. We'll do this again next week. Sam said he might be able to join us again, so that'd be cool. And we'll go from there. Everybody, remember to hit the like, subscribe, and all of that. And we'll be back. And we'll be back next week. We'll be back on Monday. And actually, yeah, Monday. I don't know. I might not be here, but hopefully Mr. Tom will be here. We've got family in town. So everybody, see ya.
Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.